Caffeine reception portal open, Captain. Oh man, first hit of the day, babe. Good morning, guys. Does anybody out there remember buying model airplanes at a grocery store or I think a lot of us probably remember dime stores, but some folks have written that like diners, you know, these little luncheonettes and stuff used to carry them, and they were just anybody that had a little corner somewhere that any merchant, they could just make a little extra money just stacking models over there. And I was chatting with one of the model manufacturing guys a while back, and he was telling me that the real, although we kind of blame video games for the decline in kit modeling, and of course things, you know, jockeying to get the kids' attention definitely had an impact. He was saying that it was the loss of retail, you know, of the ubiquitousness, which is a fancy word saying the stuff was everywhere, that really had a big impact. And I had never even thought about that before. So that prompted an idea. What are the strangest places you've ever seen kit models for sale? Or the strangest kit models? You know, I'm not even sure, but I do remember going into a store in Marion, Alabama when I was 14, and it sold like just housewares and stuff. It wasn't a hardware store. It wasn't a dime store. It's you know, stuff like Tupperware and knickknacks to the house, and just, I guess you would call it domestic obscura. And sure enough, I walked down one of the aisles, and there's two kit models, 170, I think 176, sock with camel, 176. I think it was an SE5, I think. That's it. Just these two little. And I was like, no. You just like, what are those two here? Did you guys get lost? The only I don't remember what brand it was, but I do remember there were photographs of the built model, and this would have been, I was in military school, and that would have been 74. 1974 and 74, 75. And yes, my parents sent me to military school, not because I was a bad boy, quite the contrary, but because I wanted to go. I thought it would be fun. I went 1 year. You know, when I was 14, I was an idiot. And then I'm not implying that idiocy is completely out of my bloodstream by any measure, but I pretty much was a walking ball of idiot. And I didn't build any models in military school, but I did learn to smoke. Oh joy, which I gave up. So I was noticing. Have you ever thought about the value of something just because, like, the box it's in? I was able to acquire a hobby lifelike CH-1 Skyhook helicopter. Now this is off the old Adams mold, and yeah, that's the one that comes with the Hawk missiles. Like, any helicopter that size could lug those two big old things. I just don't know who came up with that. But anyway, that's just one of those things I never get tired of harping on. But when I got the parts, you know, flip it over, I think it was the bottom of the rotor blade. It says, you know, Adams Plastics 1958. So of course this came from the exact same mold that all the Adams Plastics kits came from. But because Lifelike either bought out old inventory or managed to get the molds and do the shots later on, even though it was in the same booty green plastic, I wasn't afraid to build it because, well, it wasn't an original Adams. Original Adams, that kit usually runs about $90, but because it was Hobby Lifelike, which came by years later, well, I was able to pick it up for like $30. And I like to build the kits. I know some people think it's a heresy, but buy them to build them. And when I'm just thinking, you know, the value triples just because the injection shot was done years before, and it's in the older box. And I get people getting $30 just for the boxes for some of these things, which is okay because I mean I understand the attraction of that. I just thought that was kind of interesting. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark when the guy's giving a speech to Indiana Jones about how I have this cheap watch, but bury it in the ground for 1,000 years and have someone dig it up. Now it's an artifact, and there's a certain truth in that. You know, we all, well, not all of us, but I think a lot of us have this connection to old things, which is probably why my wife is still with me. But what do you guys prefer? You like anybody out there else like building the old kits, or am I committing a heresy? Should I keep them in their boxes as some sort of little domestic, or not a museum? You know. Oh, somebody, and I apologize if you're watching this that I forgot the name, but sent me a night. I'm working on a script for Midori and KSN Midori, and I found enough information for a short video, and they kind of tried to save themselves at the end by getting into slot cars, but I think they missed that bubble. But somebody sent me a website in Japanese that was really informative. Like, wow, now I got to rewrite the whole thing, a lot of extra work, but it'll be a more informative video. And so I know about Scalemates and Hank of Holland and Box Art Den, but if any of you guys have links to you know, these obscure, there's also one called Fandom that sometimes has information, but if you guys know about links to or you have any information or just stuff you know yourself about any of these old companies, feel free to send it to me, because whenever I get around to that company, it'll come in handy. I got a couple of folks that are sending me stuff, and it really makes stuff go faster, because without a doubt the hardest part of the whole kit model video thing is getting the information. Probably the easiest one I've done was Atlantis, because Rick and the guys over there at Atlantis, they actually on their website have a very nice history, and it pretty much explains who they are, how they got there. And I, of course, got more information, added some frills and flourish to it, but it really gave me a structure to work with really quick. Every once in a while, you'll find a really detailed Wikipedia page that lays things out nicely. You check the sources that are listed below, and with the Eschi, the old Italian company, the Wikipedia page on it was so well written that I was able to use that as the structure. And you know, I massaged it, but I even caught a little flack about that. Man, you're just reading the wiki page. I'm like, dude, I'm not just reading the wiki page, but I used enough of it that your observation is correct. But then if the information is good and it's well constructed, what's the problem? This isn't plagiarism. Well, don't think anyway. But so I really need to get working on that last Jolly Green Giant model I got in the shed. What project do you have that's languishing? You know, I should not be scared to build that Saturn V and that Papercraft launch and umbilical tower I've got. You know, got the boxes out. I'm like, okay, need to get on those. I've got like four open kits right now, and it's like a little kid on the diving board, you know. That's kind of like, hey, I don't want to jump. I don't get you afraid to jump into it and get started because like, oh, it's such a commitment. But I'm like, you know, dude, this is a hobby, not work. Just start reading the instructions, take your time, get your build plan. You know, I don't want to. It's too much work. Yeah, they're gone. They did not meet with the approval of the administrator. So an ordinance to remain in required uniform policy. Read between the lines on that one. Well, guys, I am running out of coffee. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And man, only one eye seems to be completely open. I may need a second cup. Yep, got it. Aren't they just adorable? And if Joe Scott should ever watch one of these videos, thanks for the technique. I only steal from the best. You guys have a great day, and we will talk at you later.